my dear Virgo. This is your love and spirituality reading for the mid-month of September 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. This will be the last mid-month reading I do for now. If you ever have felt the need to be at several different locations at the same time, you probably know my problem. I am way behind with my bookkeeping, and I'm also booking client readings 2 months ahead, which is too long of a wait. I hope you will understand and be satisfied with the monthly readings. I might do some other type of shorter readings to replace the mid-months in the future. I'll see what I can come up with. So I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I'm so grateful for all of your appreciation. And the reading can go both ways, so the message is for the people who watch it. So if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I used Exhaustion Tarot by Deva Padma, and I will make a 5-card spread for you. So we'll start shuffling your cards. And when I open the deck here, I see playfulness in the reversed and letting go. So it seems like play days are over. It feels sad, okay? Maybe you need to sacrifice something that you really had high hopes for, and that was actually, making you really happy about your life and happy being alive. But here it seems that you need to be strong. This is connected to the 8 strength card, and actually let this go. Maybe this gift or this playfulness, these happy times have been tainted in some way, and you need to let it go. So it's a way of showing you that you can take care of yourself whatever happens, that you can be happy inside of yourself whatever happens. So even if you don't feel like this right now, this is what it's going to lead to. So I call divine with love and light, and here we have completion in the reverse together with letting go in the reversed. So it might not be the last you see of this person, situation, circumstance, because there hasn't been like a completion, like closure, and the 8 letting go in the reverse is like it's an eternity symbol, and letting go, coming back, letting go, coming back. So it might be something like a situation that has been like this also over a long period of time, that it has been good times and bad times and good times and bad times, and this is usually how it is, but sometimes it can be very very unbalanced, and like being with someone that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So it can be very much like an on and off again thing, and it might not be the last time you see this person or this situation again either with these kind of cards. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and we have existence in the reverse together with completions in the reverse. So it seems like you are not supposed to take action right now. You are supposed to hold back and not throw yourself into something new, as it seems, because there's something maybe in the old that needs completion first. So you are going to have to waste a little bit time here, waiting for the right moment and waiting for some kind of closure or completion. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today. There we have exhaustion. So what the divine is asking of you here might be a little bit over the edge, because with the 9 exhaustion, it's really on the brink of your resources, like being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed almost over the edge. This is like having post-traumatic stress disorder because of all the trauma. So like being pushed to go to war and then having this as an outcome. So it's a great thing, it's a big thing that's asked of you, and it's not going to be easy, and it might leave you with a little bit of bitterness also. you want maybe even to the divine, why on earth are you putting me in this situation? Why am I have to endure this? Why am I not allowed to just move on and be happy? So I can't see the reason to this what you're asking, but I see that you will feel like this. And here we have the moment to moment in reversed. So this is showing someone dropping the ball, falling, stumbling, falling face down in the dirt or in a puddle of water maybe. So it might be that there's someone that has still training wheels on and they can't bicycle as quick as you can. So maybe you will have to wait for them to evolve in some way. We have laziness here and death. So they are also not particularly interested in evolving. They thought that everything was nice before, maybe when you were doing all the stumbling and falling. And but transformation comes either way. So death rules over us all. So this is the death of ego and the big transformation of your soul. It's Scorpio. Okay. So where were I? 4 elements, 6 elements. And Ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Virgo viewers. I want my dear Virgos to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So my dear Virgos, I will just tune in to you and your energy for a few seconds here. So my dear Virgo, this will be your reading here, there, and this is the bottom of the deck, and we have projections here. So it seems like you have been battling out your demons with someone else, and it's a very good thing. We can see our own shadow in someone else, but for now it feels like maybe there's some kind of vacation from this. And here is the middle of the bottom of the mid deck. So it's 7 politics in reverse. So it's showing someone's maybe magic trick blowing up in their own face. Okay, someone trying to lie, but it's coming back on them. Someone trying to be not authentic, and it's coming back on them. And it's another 7. Sevens are about spiritual challenges, trials, quests. So this might take a little bit of time. Maybe someone needs to start to take responsibility for their projections, what they are projecting onto others. It might also be an epiphany for you, that you will start to see more clearly what you have been projecting onto others and how you have unfairly misjudged them or made them to something that they were not, good or bad. We can make a person a hero that's not a hero at all, or we can make a person a villain that's not a villain at all. Sometimes it's just projections. So this is you right now, Virgo, and this is your past, and this is your future. And this is the past of the person, circumstance, situation, or your divine mission. And this is the future of that said thing. So the first card here, you, and we see the master. So it seems like you have mastered something. And it's a little bit what I said before. It's like someone needs to catch up with you. So the master is a very beautiful card showing enlightenment, showing that when you start to meditate more and also be more like always meditating, being more in mindfulness all day long. For example, being aware of when you take a sip of water, seeing the water glass with the bubbles, taking the glass towards your mouth, how it feels against your lips, how it feels in your mouth, how it feels to swallow it. So that is mindfulness, to be here and now. Normal people are bored with the now. They don't want the now, they want the future or the past. But the master is always in the now. So it's talking about an awakening where you are becoming more aware to what's actually happening around you. So it might be that you have taken like some kind of leap that makes you now have to wait for other people to be able to take the same road as you have taken. And this is the past, and here we have silence. So silence is the star card. It's about being in tune with the divine forces and working together with the divine, but it's also about meditation, mindfulness, being bored, sitting in silence. So someone said that the greatest problem with humanity is that they can't sit alone in their room without, going crazy, and that's because they can't handle their own insight. But here it seems like you are about to master this, to be able to make your inside like a temple, which you can return to and be in at every moment. So you don't have to bother so much about all the drama and the problems, because you have already found your home inside of you. And how you make this home is by trying to be bored or stay in boredom for as long a period as you are able to, and also to oscillate between mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness is when you feel the reality. Meditation is when you heighten your frequency. For example, mindfulness can be feeling the pain in your body. Meditation can be imagining breathing in light inside your body and thereby heightening your frequency. Meditation can also be when you are grateful for something, you immediately make yourself happy and heighten your frequency. When you feel gratefulness for that water on your lips and the sip of water that you just took or that you are just taken, and how good it feels and how grateful you are for that water, that will immediately put you in a situation or in a frequency of bliss where you will feel happy, and that happiness will spread like rings on water, and making your life even more prosperous and harmonious, and therefore even more prosperous and harmonious. All these things that we do has a momentum. Also, when we think bad thoughts or have like bad experience that we are thinking back to over and over and over again. But here it seems like you have found this place of mindfulness and meditation, being able to be here and now in silence, master your own body. It's also your birthday month, so happy birthday all Virgos that still has the birthday to come, also the ones that birthday is already past. It's really your month this month, and it seems like since you are in your own energy, you can really excel. The sun is in your sign, the soul is in your sign. You can really take down your soul in your body right now, so that's very beautiful. And this is your future, and we have integration in reverse, so this is probably what you need to wait for. There's like another half of you out there somewhere that hasn't been able to come as far as you at this moment, and that's why it can't be any completion, because there can't be any cooperation, because the other person or the other energy isn't ready. So that's why you need to wait for it. And it's probably also to kind of make a greater foundation to what you have learned up till now. If you are nothing is really happening, it's silence, it's boredom, nothing exciting is going on, you don't have the time of your life, then what's left is to be bored, be mindful, and meditate. And while you do this, you are kind of heightening the frequency of all people around you, and thereby also holding like the grid of earth in a very harmonious and prosperous way, heightening the whole energy of the field which you are holding. So that is going to make it easier for the next person to actually make this leap and be able to come into this kind of awareness. But integration here, I was talking about the projection. 7 projection is meeting your shadow, meeting someone else, not being able to see them fully, and the integration is talking about the same thing. It's about meeting another person and seeing your shadow and being able to digest that and learn from that. But here it's an ability to digest that and learn from that. So you might be very eager to start testing your newborn abilities. You want to step into that relationship or get more responsibility at work or something similar to this, so that you can test yourself if you are now more ready, if you have overcome your past fears and projections, if you're now ready to meet them in another more grown-up way. But it seems like you will have to wait. Maybe something needs to also, as I said, stabilize within you so that you will actually make it this time. And we can have so many different things that we are doing. Maybe we have abandonment issues and we're thinking that everyone is going to abandon us, and by that we are destroying our relationships. Or we might have attachment issues. Maybe our parents were too much in our hair, always telling us what to do and how to do it, and therefore we are now overwhelmed with other people, responsibility and all these kind of things, and we don't want it. The future holds a moment for you to try yourself out. If you're now able to, not let your abandonment issue taking over the show, or being overwhelmed and destroying your relationships that actually could have been good if you weren't immediately overwhelmed by them. So the moment will come, but not now. It seems like someone isn't ready to make this cooperation with you and do this magic together with you. Okay, so this is the past of the person you are dealing with, the situation that you're in, or the divine. And we have flowering here, so that's actually Virgo. So what can we say with this? I'm thinking that the situation that you have been in is learning to love yourself through and through. And this lady here, she's giving out flowers and seeds to whoever comes along. It's like the rose, it's always giving its fragrance, not just to the worthy ones that's coming to smell, but also when there's no one there to smell it at all. So it seems like you have found some kind of prosperous place inside of you. You have found yourself, and that has made you so sure and now unable to be in overwhelming unconditional love and be able to spread it to the world. As I said, like rings on water, but here it's like rings, energetic rings. So it seems like you are on your highest path towards your highest destiny, doing your job. I'm thinking again and again about these stories about certain monks that kind of calculated which day they were allowed to die, or when they could die, so that the earth wouldn't have so much a bad impact because of that. Because some of these monks held a lot of earth's energy and grid and was harmonizing it, and they needed to calculate an astrological day which they could leave without making too much harm. And I'm thinking not about death here, but about you holding this grid in this way. So it's very beautiful. You are making your surrounding more happy and more blissful, and they feel more loved by you, even if you are now currently not able to. We had a page of wands in the reversed and other things that was indicating that you can't like give with full bloom right now, because maybe there's no one there to be able to receive it and be grateful for it, because maybe they are not vibrating on this level. Sometimes you can have really good things like straight under your nose, but you're not able to see them or get to them because you're vibrating on a lower frequency that makes you unable to appreciate the beautiful things. And sometimes it takes a lot of energy to break these kind of patterns. I had a situation once. I was going to a workshop which I was going to together with my brother, but we came from different location. He came from one town and I'm from another, and a journey that usually takes like 1 hour and a half, tops 2 hours, took over 3 hours. There were like bridges opening, slow going vehicles, accidents again with the road on the road, and all these kind of thing. And I showed up on this workshop a half hour too late, and the next and that evening my brother said, well, you can stay with in my place instead, so we will you all have shorter time to move towards this workshop tomorrow, so, and I can also get a ride instead of taking the train. But and we did, so I slept in his apartment, but the next morning, I accidentally accessed the wrong highway and was going like straight north towards another city. And when we noticed that, we turned around and we took the right way, but then we ended up after like different like agriculture vehicles, horses being transported, big harvest machines like wide as the road and other kind of things. And my brother was starting to get really upset with me because he said, "This is your energy." And then came a black BMW and just drove around everything. And my brother said, "Hook onto that car," and I did. And that was when the energy released and I was free, because it was I had resistance because I didn't think I was ready for this kind of high elevated spirituality. Okay, so I thought that this course wasn't really for me, or it wasn't really something that I could learn, or and that was the resistance. So because of my thoughts, I wasn't able to take myself to the location. But by knowing this and then forcing the obstacles, I was able to undo this these energetic obstacles, and after that I was fine. Okay, so I'm thinking it's something like this is going on, maybe not really for you, but maybe you are like my brother, helping someone else to get through these obstacles. Okay. And this is the future, and we have consciousness in reverse. So someone is not being conscious enough, not being able to see what's going on. I knew immediately what was going on, that I had an energetic block. Not immediately, but after 3 hours on this road, I knew that I had a block. but here it seems like someone isn't able to see this. It's not. You need to see that you have a block before you can actually remove it. You can't remove it if you think, well, it's someone else's fault. There was all these bridge openings and people were driving very slow, and all the seniors was out driving on the road, so that's why I'm late. Has nothing to do with me. That is unawareness, and with unawareness, we're not able to jump over these obstacles. So I'm seeing that there's something going on here, that's a person isn't ready, or they're not aware enough. They are not able to connect to their own awareness. So that is going to take time. And as I said, the 2 sevens that you got, it's about, this will take time. It's like a spiritual quest, and it's going to consume time. Okay, so I will read the master for you. I'm thinking this text is not like perfect, because it's talking about being the master like it's nothing that you can't achieve. And I'm thinking that is wrong, because that kind of mindset has made people think that they can't ever be enlightened. Only Buddha and Jesus and people like this could be enlightened, but I can't. So I want you to have see beyond that you actually can be enlightened. It's no problem. It's just like being more awake, like being more aware. Also, when you are in a situation where you're bored, still being able to hear and see, and being aware of everything around you and what's happening, being mindful, awake. The master in Zen is not a master over others, but a master of himself. His every gesture and his every word reflect his enlightened state. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. His disciples gather around him not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired by his example. In his eyes they find their own truth reflected, and in his silence they fall more easily into the silence of their own beings. So I'm thinking about this, what I have heard Eckhart Tolle saying, that when there's a fire, like a log burning with fierce fire, and you put new logs that's not burning beside these, the burning log, it will also start burning. And this is kind of the picture I just saw. The master welcomes the disciples not because he wants to lead them, but because he has so much to share. Together they create an energy field that supports each unique individual in finding his or her own light. If you can find such a master, you are blessed. If you cannot, keep on searching. So here it comes. It kind of says that you can't be the master. You need to find someone that is. And that is not helpful because we are to not follow authority anymore, but become our own authority. Learn from the teachers and the would-be masters and move on. Sharaiveti, said Gautam Buddha. Keep on moving. Beyond the mind, there is an awareness. That's awareness, consciousness. They are very similar, just this is in reverse because it's not burning so fiercely just yet. Beyond the mind, there is an awareness that is intrinsic, okay. That is not given to you by the outside, and it's not an idea. And there is no experiment up to now that have found any center in the brain which corresponds to awareness or consciousness. The whole work of meditation is to make you aware of all that is mind and disidentify yourself from it. So being the I in I am, the I that watches the thoughts, feels the feelings. You are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings, you are the watcher. Okay, you are the watcher of the wall. The whole work of meditation. Yes, I read from here. The whole work of meditation is to make you aware of all that is mind and disidentify yourself from it. That very separation is the greatest revolution that can happen to man. When you finally see the difference between who you are, the consciousness that's are you, the I, and the am, like what you are aware of. It's not you that you are aware of. It's you're aware of something. The awareness is you. Now you can do and act on only that which makes you more joyful, fulfills you, gives you contentment, makes your life a work of art, a beauty. But this is possible only if the master in you is awake. Right now the master is fast asleep. So that's again like telling you that you can't be enlightened. So sorry for that. And the mind, the servant, is playing the role of a master. And the servant is not even your servant. The servant is created by the outside world. It follows the outside world and its laws. Once your awareness becomes a flame, it burns up all the slavery that the mind has created. There is no blissfulness more precious than freedom, than being a master of your own destiny. So, with the Ace of Swords here, consciousness in the reverse, it might be that you will struggle a little bit with thinking. And, you know, just let the thoughts be there for a little while. Maybe write it down so you're more aware of it. And then feel your feelings instead, because the mind is causing ripples on your ocean of emotions, and if you stay with it, you will calm it down. You will give awareness to also your feelings, and this could be a very prosperous way to make yourself more awake at all times. It's like a trick. Also the gratitude is a trick to make you more aware of the blissfulness in your lives, to elevate your frequency. Okay, so very beautiful. So I will also take a card for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle cards with Elena Fairchild. So for my dear Virgo, second half of September, from mid-September to beginning of October. And we have two cards here. And we have What Do You Feel, which is the one I will read. But you also have this In the World, Not Of the World. So you will know that what you're aware of is Maya, Lila, the illusion. And here, what do you feel? So this was just what I told you, this exercise that you can do to get more aware of who you are as the soul or the master. 9. 9 is also a magical number. You can search for 9 on YouTube. 9 as the divine number or magical number, or so you will find interesting videos about that. There are many opinions around you. Some are helpful, but others are distracting you from your truth. This is consciousness, Ace of Swords is truth. Although it can be helpful to hear the thoughts of others, when it all comes down to it, you will have to come to your own decision. So this is what I do if I want to solve a problem. I brainstorm myself and I'm brainstorming with other people, but then I'm making a choice from what I feel deep within. But it's nothing wrong with asking others for direction. Do you know how unique you are? How your path is your path to be chosen, lived and created only by you. Someone else cannot become the source of your decision-making power without negative repercussions for both of you in the long run. This oracle comes to you because you have become swept up in thinking things through. You have been thinking about which way to go with a matter of importance, and you have got it a bit stuck in the logic of the decision-making process. Sometimes we have to accept that any path is a path forward, and if it's not the best path, we can change our approach later on if needed. If we are slightly off base with the decision, life will often shift and move to guide us back on track. For example, sometimes when we meet a lot of obstacles on the way, we might take it as a advice to not move further along on that way. And sometimes that's true, and sometimes it's not. And you need to listen on your inside. What is the truth? If you feel like you don't want to go to that workshop at all, then it's probably like it's not the right way for you. But I really wanted to get there. I just realized the obstacles and laughed about it. My brother didn't, though. So we don't have to be perfect. In fact, there is rarely ever a perfect choice to be made. Just some choices that feels more heart-honoring than others. Sometimes we can only really know in hindsight if we made the best choice possible in that moment. At the time of decision making, we only really have our internal wisdom to rely upon, and that is all that we need. Sometimes if you are to buy something, let's say that you are in the grocery store and you don't know if you want to buy potatoes to your dinner, or if you want to have maybe something else. I wanted to find something similar, but I realized I don't know the names. Okay, we could say carrots. Maybe you want to have carrots instead because you thought maybe potatoes is too much like carbon something inside of. Okay, so you take the potato you close your eyes, you have potato in one hand and carrots in the other hand, and you take the potato to your chest and feel how it feels. If you feel inner peace, you are supposed to buy the potato, and then you put the carrot in the same place. You oscillate, you take the carrot instead, or the carrots, and you feel how it feels. So if it feels good, maybe you will take both. And if one feels bad, you don't buy that. If one feels like you get worried, you don't buy that. So that's a simple way to make choice. And it's the same thing what I told you with this workshop. It felt good in my heart to I wanted to reach that goal. If I would have felt like, no, I realized I didn't really want to go there, I would probably have canceled and turned around my car because of all the obstacles. But I really felt like I wanted to go there. So that was the difference, what I felt inside my heart. And like if I saw the sun when I thought about the workshop instead of like just clouds and misery and gloom. So we can do different things to make us aware of what we really feel. And what we really want. And the feelings is actually a very beautiful guideline. The thoughts too, to be rational and reasonable sometimes is needed, but the emotion has kind of the overview, a bigger overview than what the thinking mind might have. The thinking mind might make good decisions for the short term with the thinking mind, but with the heart will have the long goal in view. Like the subconscious can calculate things with your destiny. So for example, if you are together with someone that doesn't really show you love, you might with your rational mind decide, well, I need to pull back, but your heart will still be kept with that person, maybe because you still have a destiny together. But for now you need to pull back because your rational mind says so. And that is also what you're seeing if you would look with awareness on your situation. Like, this is how it is, so I need to act accordingly with the truth, not with what I feel always, but what the other person is really saying or doing. So not with what I think that they feel in their soul. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, there is rarely ever a perfect choice to be made, just some choices that feel more heart-honoring than others. Sometimes we can only rely now, or sometimes we can only really know in hindsight if we made the best choice possible in that moment. So it's just in like hindsight, and then we have 20/20 vision. At the time of decision making, we only really have our internal wisdom to rely upon, and that is all that we need. The rest is like, it's like a black map. We can't really see into the future like this. We can do it with the cards a little bit, and with our feelings a little bit, but we can't be fully sure. Sometimes we are lured into some road that will be very difficult because we need to learn something. The oracle of what do you feel is telling you that there is no need to punish or traumatize yourself with possible choices. Just making a choice will set things in motion. The best way to catalyze the situation you are in and bring about healing change, stimulate your creative juices, and find a more inspired, energized, and enjoyable approach to life is to just make a choice based on what you feel right now, not based on anyone else's feelings, just yours. So ask yourself, what do I feel right now, and go from there. Tomorrow you will feel something else and you will make another choice, but go with what you feel this day. Sometimes this feeling can oscillate over a day. For example, someone calls you and say, I have a work for you. I want you to start working for me. And you say no. You feel immediately, you feel scared. You don't want to do that. But later on the day, you feel, well, I wanted to do that. So you call them up and say, if it's still available, I want to take it. And you say yes, because now it feels good. If you would have said yes from the beginning, there might have been some things have changed that wouldn't be beneficial for you. So you go with whatever you feel, even if you change your mind 10,000 times a day. If you cannot relate to the need to make a choice between two or more clear alternatives, then the oracle brings you this message. You are at a crossroad in your journey, and the choices you make at this time, even simply choosing to do things a little differently, without much drama associated with the decision, are powerful triggers for some great magic to enter your life. There's a lot of with magic here now. Take a different approach to something. Be open to that which make you uncomfortable but could be exciting and interesting. Even small adventures will yield big rewards right now. It matters less that you do the most wonderful thing ever, and more that you are simply taking an action from your heart. Open up to creative magic of life and don't worry about how it's all going to work out. The bigger creative flow of life is sorting out all the details, and you are not immune to that plan. In fact, you are a natural part of it. So just spend some time with your own feelings and know that all is going to work out perfectly. So sometimes we need to challenge ourselves as well. So for example, if we always stay in and we are invited out, we might want to say yes to going out. To shake up things a little bit. You can't just stay and being the master inside your own room. But someone said, if you think you're so enlightened, go and spend a week with your parents. I have the name on my tongue, but I'm really not good with names. Maybe Sadhana. Okay. So maybe it's time for you to take your gift out in the world and try it out. But if it's on the other way around, that you feel like you want to take your gift out in the world and you feel obstacles, it's still this with the timing, that it might be that you're waiting for the right time. Okay, my dear Virgos, I hope this helped. I want you to take really, really good care. I also want to welcome you back to my monthly October reading that I will perform in the middle of September. Okay, bye-bye.